things.
that whole crew.
That's exactexactly what I thought. That he was. I can't remember the guy's name now. In Mad Max, the main dude with the mask on, the mediocre.
What is that guy's name?
Valhalla.
Yeah, but I think. Oh man, like there's a lot of good like side characters that you don't see very much. Like again, Star Wars is really good about introducing you to like one or two alien characters that you're like, those guys are really cool, and we're only going to see them for one scene. Like the one alien that they took with them for the Rebel Alliance ground force,
the little
one, the little one that was on Jeddah, and then again,
and he shows up. At the end,
he shows in with the U-wing,
takes
and
out
everything.
the walker's leg or whatever.
That.
I don't know what they didn't say their races.
The one that took out the
sweet.
walker's leg was not the same as the little short dude from Jeddah.
It wasn't?
No, he's dead. He was stuck in the planet when it got destroyed, or that city when it got destroyed.
I know a few of them got away.
He's a taller, like lizard-looking dude.
Oh, okay. Is he not a?
No, there's that lizard.
He does kinda
there's
look like
that
a
lizard-looking dude. But then when they actually get the reinforcement crew on the U-wing, there's like this little fluffy short thing on a cannon shooting at the legs.
It's not the same guy.
I'll have to watch it again then.
Yeah, I'll have to go for a third time. But
darn it,
they have great aliens.
Yes, they do. And again, they make them look really good despite being practical effects.
Yeah, and there's this weird like abominable snowman at one.
So
scene.
it's either a Wampa, because I know that some Wampas are intelligent from like
I kind of looked like
everything.
a Wampa, yeah.
But if you remember when they're in on A New Hope, when they're in the cantina, there's that one furry guy with the dongle thing, and he kind of flicks
the
it a little bit. Yeah, it's like a little proboscis. There's actually a very intelligent race of those creatures.
Yeah, maybe it was
in Star Wars, and like there's a whole Clone Wars episode about it.
Yeah,
and everything. So it could be that. And if I don't care, that guy was awesome. Like for the few shots that we saw,
he was just in the background.
I was like, "You're like the Chewbacca this time." That's cool with me.
Did you guys notice how on Jeddah, like the holy city or whatever, everybody looked kind of like they were in the Middle East?
A little bit.
Like they were in the holy city.
Yeah, it felt a little bit like a Mecca kind of thing, an Islamic kind of thing. Mm-hmm.
Well, it was the last remnant of the Jedi, basically.
Yeah.
Which was that temple.
Makes sense that
they ransacked. Jedi.
Yeah. I think that's either where the name Jedi came from, or that's where the name Jedi came from.
One weird plot point. She has a crystal that her dad gives her, that Kyber crystal, and they let her keep it in prison. Rather than go, holy shit, this is Kyber crystal. We need these. Bloop.
Yeah.
SARS.
Makes you think, what did she do with it? She hid it somewhere.
Yeah, she had to keister it.
But come on, the Empire has to have, they make a new machine that just detects stuff that's up your butt.
Yep. Like Rick and Morty.
Yes, exactly. The new scanner.
New TSA guidelines.
What'd you guys think of the soundtrack?
I thought it was great.
Yeah, I thought the score was pretty good.
It was very Star Wars, but also fresh.
Yeah, I didn't think that, like I said, the opening theme for it really did feel like when you watch How It Should Have Ended videos on YouTube, and they try and do the approximation to make you feel like you're listening to the right song.
When I watched it at the crappy theater, so I've seen it twice, and I saw it first in this venue that was rented out by a company that gave a couple people in my work tickets. It was hard seats, terrible sound, tiny screen. It wasn't a very comfortable movie-going experience, and I enjoyed it so much better at the Cinemark XD that we did.
Yeah,
recliners and like full-on surround sound. So if you're going to watch it, highly recommend either do XD or IMAX.
Yeah, I did IMAX 3D.
How was the 3D in it?
It's amazing.
Okay,
the 3D.
Alrighty.
It's I don't know if it's like a new trend in filmmaking right now, but they don't do anything that jumps out at you. Everything's just depth. Yeah. So it looks really good.
Space movies are fantastic with that, too. We went and saw Guardians in 3D.
Oh, yeah.
That was so good. Because space is huge.
Yeah.
There's lots of depth
to it.
The only
time I remember anything kind of like coming out of the screen was when Darth Vader turns on his lightsaber.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really come out, but it just since he's the front, it just kind of like comes down at you a little bit. So I was like, oh, shit.
All right. Okay, cool. Scott, how are we doing our time?
We're pretty good. We about 55 minutes in.
Okay, so we've got enough time to talk a little bit more about I want to do final thoughts and favorite scene, but we're cutting out the battle scene because that's everybody's favorite scene.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead. I think that it is a great gap between 3 and 4. I think you've got a wonderful. It actually feels like the story we needed, because A New Hope really starts out kind of randomly, and you're just like, what's going on? Until Luke comes in and they have to explain everything to him, right? So this is a really good way for us to be like, here's your this feels like episode 1 of the Star Wars movies, and then we have A New Hope as episode 2, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like, not to break it apart even more than it already is. And then my favorite scene out of the ones besides the battles, the scene at the end, I really enjoyed. I guess I could just steal the other battle scene, the ambush and K2 grabbing the grenade from the air.
That was mine.
And tossing it back over his shoulder.
I'll go back to the ship.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, maybe I should be on the ship.
Yeah. Down?
Yeah. My thoughts are, basically this movie makes it so you don't have to watch the prequels anymore.
That's true.
We don't need the prequels. This is the prequel. Just start here. If you've never watched a Star Wars movie, start with this one and watch the originals and forget about 1, 2, and 3. You don't need them. So I think Disney did the right thing with their first standalone going the route that they did. I think it also is going to set up future standalone movies now. Maybe this was kind of their test, just see how people would react. Obviously, mostly
see how
positive.
much money they can make.
Yep.
Right. Mostly positive reviews. Even critics are giving it pretty positive reviews. I think they're giving it like 84, 85, 83, somewhere in that range, so pretty good. I think it has the best space battles we've seen. Overall, just they did a really good job with it. And my favorite scene, probably when they, it's tough because you took the scene I was thinking.
Me too. That's the one I wanted.
So the other battle scene was what we were all going to fall back on.
All I cared about was when he catches the grenade, and he's talking, and they're like, live grenade, and he's just like, man, maybe I should have stayed on the ship. And just tosses it over his shoulder and takes out, 6 or 7 more stormtroopers coming over.
I think it's when they've got Chirrut Inway, they put the bag over his head, and he's like, really? I'm blind.
Yeah. 84 and 90%, by the way.
Nice.
So since you stole mine, I'm going to go with when they're in the records room, trying to find the records, and K2SO is defending them. And the 3 guards come in. Okay, first they walk into the records room, and the guy's like, can I help you? And he's like, no, that won't be necessary. And he just clunks him on the head out of nowhere. And
technically, this is all part of the battle scene, by the way.
No, you said space battle. So, and then the 3 come in afterwards, the 3 stormtroopers, and they're like, the rebels, they went that way. And then Castian comes over the voice comm, where is it? And he goes, there's one. Fine. And then he beats him up.
Yeah. That's really good.
Again, he stole the show, in my opinion. So, what you said about the Solo movies, that's great. Speaking of Solo, that's the next one.
The
Han Solo, which is going to be a prequel to this one, by the way.
Yeah,
or
it's either
going to be prequel or it's going to be simultaneous.
Yeah,
I think it'll be kind of simultaneous because apparently
it'll end up with him heading to
Tatooine.
Tatooine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Apparently he was like a rebel defect or Empire defector. He started in the academy, going to be a pilot kind of thing. Something must have happened. Maybe it had to do with Kashyyyk and the Wookiees.
Maybe.
Yeah. I want how he found the Millennium Falcon, how he got it.
Yeah.
He won it in that poker game or whatever.
The Kessel Run.
The poker battle.
No, he won it.
He won it from Lando.
Yeah, in the Kessel Run.
No,
that's how he won the Millennium
No, he says
Falcon.
he won it in a card game.
He won it in a card game.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
No, and then he did the Kessel Run in it later.
No, I'm looking this up while you're talking.
Geek argument.
But then I also want how him and Chewie met.
Yeah, I think that would be a appropriate topic for that movie is him and Chewie.
But I don't know what they're going to do for their other standalone movie. I have no clue.
I want to see a Boba Fett standalone really bad. Or, because the way they did Darth Vader, a Darth Vader hunting down the remaining Jedi or whatever.
Oh, yeah, I'd be okay with that.
And maybe the Emperor's trying to test him, and he's like getting side apprentices, and you have to kill Vader to take his spot.
Let's leave the majority of the Jedi Sith stuff to the main movies.
No, I want more. I want
more Darth
Jedi
Vader
movies outside of Luke Skywalker, please. Can we please have that?
Maybe no more Jedi, but I want Darth Vader kicking ass more. I think it was so awesome.
I don't.
Well, you can't have it all. You're going to get more Jedi whether you like it or not.
Yeah, episode 8 next year.
Exactly. Exciting. Yeah. So, and then I think I want an Aunt Beru movie.
Yeah. How the origin of blue milk.
How to make blue milk.
Exactly.
Blue milk with
It's
Aunt Beru.
actually Kool-Aid, but
very-
they put milk
a very-
instead of water.
Guys, how to make blue milk with Aunt Beru. A very Tatooine Christmas.
A very Tatooine Christmas. Perfect.
Star Wars, a Christmas story.
This is technically our Christmas episode, by the way.
Yeah,
a
Merry
Christmas,
you
a
filthy
Christmas
animals.
wampa.
Christmas Wampa. That sounds like a thing between a man and a woman that should be kept private.
Well, maybe.
Sounds like
Hey, honey, you ready for the annual Christmas Wampa?
no. It sounds like what you have. They had to consummate the marriage, and you got to view the wampa to make sure it happened.
Exactly. By the way, yes, I looked it up. He won it in a Sabak game. Yeah, geek knowledge. I swear there was something where he won it in the Castle Run.
No,
and that's why
he does the
Castle Run.
Yeah.
And
12.1 parsecs.
and
whatever.
yeah, which is
less than 12 parsecs.
Yeah, under 12 parsecs.
Under 12
yeah,
parsecs.
and it's
that's what
because he hyperspace is near a black hole and it
Yeah.
time dilates and does all kind of weird stuff. So
yeah, he's known for punching it into light speed at inappropriate times.
Oh, the last thing that I wanted to mention, because you reminded me of this when you were talking about your scene where they're sitting there and listing all the different projects.
Oh,
that they're
Black
working on.
Saber.
Like Project Black Saber.
Oh,
yeah,
sweet.
I was like, I'm pretty sure at least one of those is a Easter egg. Like Black Saber, I think is referring to the Null
Right,
Saber from
right.
Clone Wars, and maybe in Rebels. Did it appear in Rebels?
They have
at
like
all?
a white saber,
white-
but it's like a negative saber, but the opposite.
It's a light saber.
Yes, exactly.
a
exactly.
white
dark.
light.
It's
Yeah.
it's weird. They find it in a Sith temple, so that's what's weird about
Huh,
it.
weird. Yeah, but
I feel vastly outclassed right now because I am not a huge Star Wars fan. So you guys are like, oh, and it's this race, and
that's
it's this.
very
and I-
rare.
and I'm
That's
like,
very, very rare for you. You
This
must be
is like the
feeling
one
weird.
And
thing
I'm
I'm
like,
an over geek on. Everything else, I'm just kind of like middle of the road geek. This and Harry Potter, that's about it.
Yeah,
That's fine.
Oh, I really
That's-
loved the
and
Mon
that's perfect.
Calamari in
That's
it
perfectly
too.
fine.
All of the fish people in there.
calamari.
Yeah,
Yeah, yummy calamari.
Yum, yum.
I want some calamari.
Yeah,
right
where
now.
was where's
Akbar?
Akbar in this
Well,
one?
so I think that
Maybe
that guy's the admiral, right? That
Maybe
Mon
he
Calamari.
dies?
He dies because that's the ship that Vader's on. That's the ship that they disable.
Oh,
and it has the,
shit, I
has
didn't
the-
realize that.
Yeah, it has
So
the colonel
that's
and cruiser
probably
in it.
where Akbar now becomes the
Because-
next admiral.
because
or
that
the
guy's-
next leader.
Yeah.
that guy's dead, so he rises through the ranks, kind of thing.
Speaking of when Vader shows up, it's sweet when he jumps out of hyperspace and they're trying to take off and they're smashing.
Oh
his
yeah,
ship
like
a couple
3 or 4
times.
just like smashing.
That
it.
was-
Yeah,
that
that was
was
really
cool.
good. All right, I think that is it for this episode of the Geek Junkie podcast. We want to know what you thought of Star Wars, and there's plenty of ways that you can tell us what you thought. What you thought of Grand Moff Tarkin, what you thought
Grandma Tarkin.
Grandma Tarkin. That's all he's going to be known as. Go on to Twitter. We are at
GJ Podcast.
Yep,
At GJ Podcast.
You can go to Facebook / geekjunkiepodcast.com. No, not .com. Just Facebook / Geek Junkie
You can
Podcast.
email us at geekjunkiepodcast at gmail.com.
Yep, or you can go directly. We don't have a comment thing on our website, do we?
You can email us from our website.
Yeah, okay. Well, just email us from the website geekjunkiepodcast.com. We post all of our old episodes up there. If you're looking for them, we are on Stitcher, which you might be listening on. Hi, Stitcher fans. We are on Spreaker. Hi, Spreaker fans. And
Yay.
that's it. I mean,
Where
yeah.
where other places I just can't remember.
Yeah, there's
what
probably
they're
a few
called.
others that we probably
Anywhere
have a
you
few.
can listen to a podcast, we probably are there.
We'll be there. Whenever there's a podcast in need, we'll be there.
If we're not on the thing that you listen to podcasts to,
Let us know.
but somehow
Yeah.
you've heard this, then you need to let us know.
Exactly.
We'll
Say,
get
hey,
on it.
we want you on Umbrella or whatever they are. There's a couple like podcast Umbrella or something like that.
Podbean. That one
Yeah,
just sounds like an
Podbean.
inappropriate vagina joke.
Yes,
on Podbean.
and she had that sounds like Padme's like a younger sister actually. All right, until next time, I'm Corey.
And I'm Scott.
And I was drinking water and I'm down.
We are the Geek Junkie Podcast. Live long and prosper, right?
No, may the force be.
Oh,
with
right,
you.
that one.
To infinity and beyond.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Never give up, never surrender.
Never give up.
Never give up.
Never surrender.
Alrighty.